Hey everyone, Jalen here from TBIDevlon, bring you guys another Hero World deck profile. I know you guys are probably getting tired of Hero World. That's literally been the past 4 deck profiles recently. But I promise there will not be any more Hero World after this, at least from any of us. Um, we will have Sun Dragons tomorrow, so don't worry about that. You can finally get a break from Hero World. But today we do have Hero World, and I'm going to bring you my Superheroine deck profile. This deck isn't 100% complete because I am missing one copy of a card that is very, very, very annoying to find. So I do beg your pardon if I do not have all the necessary cards that I would necessarily like for a build like this, but it is good enough. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into the deck profile. Of course, you can see the flag is Hero World, of course, and the buddy is Uniform Warrior Racer Frill. Racer Frill is a 2/1, size 1, is free to call, and if there's another superhero on your field, then you get to draw a card, and it has move. This card is absolutely amazing because of Vantage, returning a superheroine when it's attacked. So, when this is basically a Drago Archer, a Thunder Knight's Drago Archer clone, that's free to call. Well, so is Drag Archer, but it's got move on its own. It's just nice body block. It's good for Vantage. You can getting it back with Tears Don't Suit a Maiden is absolutely amazing. This is a really nice size one. That's definitely a grade 4 of that. I just really enjoy in this deck. Superheroines probably you'll see lots of similar lineups because the deck is very easy to build and understand because it's just a few cards that came in Buddy Rave. Anyway, we have stars of size 1s. We have 3 copies of Uniform Warrior Sailor Frill. Sailor Frill is a 3/1/3 size 1 with the ability to counteract. If you may discard a superheroine from your hand, if you do, rest a size 2 or less, or an item on your opponent's field. You may use this ability once per turn. It's basically a Drago Desperate for superheroines by discarding one. It's absolutely great because it's really annoying for your opponent. You just put this on the side, and when they start their attack phase, you just rest something by discarding a superheroine, and then they're gonna want to attack it. And then as soon as they attack it, it's like, okay, I can just Vantage it back to my hand, or Sailor Barrier, or any kind of null like that. Or even if it dies, then I can Tears Don't Suit a Maiden back. So it's not really that big a deal. Also, it is pretty okay in stats. I mean, it's not good. It's not bad either. It's just really there for its great ability to, and also like just make your opponent very annoyed and have to get rid of it so they can continue their aggression. Next up, we have 4 copies. 4 copies of Uniform Warrior Military Frill. Military Frill is a 4/2/1 size 1 with the ability, if you have another superhero on your field, this card gets critical +1. So it becomes a 3 crit as long as you have another superheroine. So once again, another superheroine that people want to attack or use counter move on because they are every single superheroine is hit by hitting things like hitting crossbow, pillar of fire. A number of them can get hit by that's a shallow shot. There's lots of very relevant counter removal, but this deck can bounce back from it, which is what's really, really fun about this deck. Either way, this is just a nice 3 crit, and it doesn't have decent 4K power, like almost 1,000 rapier stats. So it's just good all around for its stats. Of course, except for defense, because, like I said, easily counter removable. Next up, we have for the search card, the mascot, Familiar Blitz. I mean, literally, it's a mascot attribute. Blitz is a 2/1/2 size 1 with a pay 1 gauge call cost, and when it enters the field, you can search for a superheroine or a Mass Vantage monster. I'm pretty sure it's a Mass Vantage monster. Oh well, it's specifically Bandage Warrior, so you can't really search the impact. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Blitz is just a search card. It's like the same way I explained Evil Break. It's not good as a monster because 2/1/2 for a gauge is not good. It's there for the ability. It's not a superheroine, so it's very annoying to get rid of. So practically when you call this thing, either you call it to the center on the first turn and let them kill it for you, or you're probably going to have to call over it because it's just a bad monster. But it's overall just a really needed and really good and really nice card for the deck to help in the consistency. And then last off, we have 4 copies of the Buddy's Uniform Warrior Racer Frill. onto the size 2s. We only have 6 size 2s, and after all those size 1s, like what was it? 4, 8, 12, 15. 15 size 1s. Jeez. Anyway, we have 2 copies of Uniform Warrior Formal Frill. Formal Frill is the most annoying card in the universe to find because I need 1 more copy. It's like the comfortable build I have for this deck is just 1 more copy of this, but I don't have another copy, so screw me. Anyway, 6,000 power, 2 critical, 2,000 defense. It has a pay 1 gauge call cost, and it has 2 abilities. 1, when there's a super, I'm just gonna read it to be sure so I don't mess up. If you have another superhero on your field, all superheroine on your field get penetrate, and at the end of the battle to discard attack. If you have another superheroine on your field for this turn, this card gets double attack. So as long as you have another superheroine and your size 1s, you get double attack at the end of your attack, and this card's attack. And similar to things like Kazane, but at the end of the attack rather than like on decoration. And the other ability is just penetrate. Just give penetrate as long as you have basically mass advantage on your field. So it's a really, really nice card. It's really polarizing for the deck because you really want to just sometimes have this again. This is mainly for like annoying matchups, like decks that like to move. So it's like you face any like other rush decks that have move monsters, say like Sun Dragons with a couple of cards like Black Dot, or you're going against Thunder Knights and they got the new Fawn, so you can like link attack the center with the two superheroines and do double penetrate, so they can't always just move to the center and just be annoying. So that's why I really like this card, and that's why I definitely want 3 copies instead of just 2. Then the other only size 2 is 4 copies of Uniform Warrior Blazer Frill. Not keen on this character in the show, but it is a really nice card for the deck. 6,000 power, 2 critical, 2,000 defense. Similar stats to Formal Frill. It has move and the ability when just lightning chaser ability. When this card attacks and destroys a monster, put a target on your deck into the gauge. So it's just like a really nice lightning chaser. It's free. It's just a universally good card. Like just being a size 2 with 6,000 power and having decent 2 critical, it's just a very versatile card and really nice. Then the last card we have are 4 copies of a very annoying necessity. I mean, I got all 4, thank God, in all our boxes, but Jesus Christ, I have to feel bad for any other person trying to build superheroines. We got 4 copies of Bandage Warrior, Mass Vantage. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. 7,000 power, 2 critical, 6,000 defense, and a pay 1 gauge it has a pay 2 gauge call cost. I've never called it, so not gonna worry about that. And a pay 1 gauge transform cost, and it has the ability at the end of your turn, it returns to your hand. So yay for that. So it can help it avoid destruction on your opponent's turn if they like don't have any counter speed item destroying, like art of item blasting and such like that. You can also has the ability during the attack on your opponent's turn by paying your transform cost. You can counter equip this card and return a superheroine that was attacked to your hand. So it's really, really nice. It's just searchable. It's really great. So Blitz is like having 8 copies of this card. It's just absolutely amazing. Nice stats. Very annoying for your opponent to deal with on your turn. On their turn when you like return a superheroine, and then now they have to deal with this for the rest of the turn. So if they like messed up on their attacks and now they don't have enough to hit the defense on the player, now it's very annoying for them. Anyway, onto the spells. We have 2 copies of New Plasma Mine. It's basically a Be Going clone, pay 2 gauge. You can only cast it when your opponent calls a size 2 or less monster, and you counter nullify the call. You can only do this literally at the point. So literally, if someone calls an Aster, you pay 2 gauge, and you have to do it then. If they've already called an Aster, and you chose for some reason not to do this, and then you can't do it later, has to be the moment when it's called. Anyway, it's just a really nice card. This deck I've seen has like a lot of space to work with. So like when it came to the spell department, since they didn't have any like super polarizing amount of spells that you needed to put in, like people chose to put Military Launcher. I'm like, why? Because this deck really, really doesn't like things like Aster coming on the field. So that's why I felt the need to main 2 of these. onto the rest of the spells, we have 2 copies of I Am a Rose Who Cuts Down Evil. It's a really interesting card. Most people feel like they would run 3 or even 4 of this. I personally feel comfortable with 2. Anyway, I'm a Rose Who Will Cut You Down. Just to be sure, if you may only cast this card if you have a Mass Vantage and a card with Mass Vantage and its card name on your field. It has a cast cost to pay 1 gauge and counters. Stand a card with Mass Vantage and its card name on your field for this turn. Give that card plus 2,000 power and defense and critical plus 1 and counter attack. You may only cast 1 I'm a Rose Who Will Cut Down Evil once per turn. This basically lets you restand either your Impact Monster Vantage or regular Mass Vantage, which is really, really cool. It gives a critical. It can also be used defensively because it doesn't give counterattack, so it's a really nice card. It's like a backup Drago energy for, since this is like the only superhero in your deck, so you shouldn't waste things like playing Justice Will Prevail just because you have your main transform is always a superhero, so you should always try and defend yourself or whatever. This is a really nice card, very versatile, easy 1 gauge cast cost. Next up we have 3 copies of Hyper Energy. Hyper Energy is just gain 4 gauge. Top 4 cards of your deck into the gauge. You can only cast 1 Hyper Energy per turn. Everyone knows what this does if you've seen Hero World. 4 copies of That's a Shallow Shot. Now, like I said, this is I am 1 card off from my ideal build, so I put in an extra copy because I was planning to run 3, but since I don't have a 4 full throw, I'm like, okay, more defense could also help. So That's a Shallow Shot is counter, pay a gauge, destroy a monster with 5,000 less power. It's pretty easy to, it's pretty good. Of course, there are going to be plenty of matchups where power is a lot higher than defense, like of course size 3 decks going against DDW. So it's not that useful in those kind of matchups, but in other things like Dungeon Mix and even the Superhero and the Superheroine matchup, it's really, really good. So this card's pretty nice. Nice counter rule for Hero World. Thank God we got something better than that Dragonic Thunder. Anyway, we have 4 copies of Tear Zone Suit of Maiden. This card has 2 effects, and for some reason you can do this more than once per turn. This card more than once per turn. I mean, I just feel like this thing should have a once per turn restriction, because the first effect is really, really crazy. What the first effect is, you gain a life and put a superheroine from your drop zone into your hand. This is an armory use that gives you life. This should not be multiple times per turn. Just saying. Counter, and the other effect is a Dragon Energy effect. Counter, give a superheroine +3/+3 counterattack. I have literally never used that second effect, like, at all. I can maybe recall maybe 1 game on area where I did it, but never in real life. So, yeah, that's how much you use that armor use effect with this card. Next up, we have 4 copies of Sailor Barrier, which is another card in Superheroines that has 2 effects, and both of them, just like the other one, are pretty good. But this one, at least, it's actually like up to the certain situation you're in, which one could be better. Anyway, this card either has one of 2 abilities that you can use. Sailor Barrier, you can only cast it if you have a superhero in your field. Either this is an Afterimage clone where you can, instead of saving a superhero, of course, you save a superheroine from leaving the field, not destruction. So it remains on the field when it's destroyed. So yeah, it's that kind of effect. And the other one is just a Yamitage, basically. It nullifies any attack as long as you have a superheroine on your field. So it's a really, really great card. Another nice nullifier. Too bad it's archetype specific, so no other one can get really really free null like that. Speaking of free nulls, we have of course the 4 Battle Oracle clone copies. I've seen to the boost. Simple card that's always been in Hero World in every deck. And the last is 2 copies of the Impact Mass Vantage Lavish Body Gorgeous Mask. It is a 7/3/6 size 2. With the pay 2 gauge and return an item or monster on your field to your hand call cost. And it has a move, and it has the ability, now this is the errata, because, well, this card on it, you can't really see it, because, well, you can see it, but it's errated, because they did not specify on the actual card. because on the actual card it says when this card is destroyed, you may pay or you may transform into or ride on a card with transform or ride without paying the call cost. Sound weird? Yeah, because it doesn't tell you where. Where the errata tells you. So the official effect of this card is that you transform or ride from your hand. So if you're all confused on where you ride or transform from, it's from your hand. Look at the official Buddyfight's errata like site, so you can see the erratas, because when I first read this, I was like, where do I get my card? Anyway, this is a really nice card. Its Superheroine isn't that powerful. I feel like it's a little more powerful in other decks, like maybe Battle Poet, Riot. I don't think so. Riot changes because you can't go into the soldier forms, but like, I don't know, Kaiserion, like, I just think it's pretty nice in Superheroines. I don't think it's the best, but I just like it because it's 3 crit with move, 6k defense, so it can be annoying for your opponent, and like I said, I'm a Rosu who cut you down, can work on this card, so I can be annoying and give it counterattack. So, anyway, hope you guys like this video, subscribe to TeamBurningInfinitey for more Buddyfight content, and I'll see you guys later. Jalen from TeamBurningInfinitey, going out.